Hey guys, so today is favorites, and when I'm talking about my favorites, I'm really talking about the products that I'm reaching for the most. I can't give you holy grails every month. That is just unattainable and makes me a liar because my holy grails really stay the same for prolonged periods of time most of the time. That is why they're called holy grails. So these videos are really meant to sort of introduce you to some really amazing products that I've been using a lot recently, so in the last month, and it has to do with the weather, the condition my skin is in, the colors that I'm pulling for, my hair, my new hair color as well. So I'm going to show you what it is that I've been reaching for a ton, and these are solid recommendations, and quite a few of them you've heard about before from me on my channel, meaning that yes, I enjoy them so much that I feel appropriate mentioning them more than once. So let's start with skincare. I only have one skincare product today, and this is a Soap and Glory product. This one specifically is called the Pore Facial Peel. I do enjoy Soap and Glory. I love their scents that they scent their products with. The ingredients are not pristine here. However, in my very slow transition to more green beauty, I feel totally fine using up the products that I have in my stash already, and I'm certainly not decluttering everything just because it's not quote-unquote green. So this Soap and Glory little thing is going to be for sure used up. I enjoy it a lot and I do recommend it. I think it's actually a really good product. As you can see, I've dented it significantly. And it has little micro beads in there. When you're applying it, you're massaging micro beads in. This has some exfoliating properties. It also acts kind of like a lightweight clay mask, mattifying mask. It does dry on your skin. I usually leave it for 15 minutes. They say if you want to refresh, do 5-minute mask. If you want a deeper treatment or facial, I don't think it's a facial sort of quality treatment, but I rarely think anything is, except for a facial, an actual facial with harsh chemicals. But this one does a really nice job sort of exfoliating the top layer of skin and sort of pulling on impurities. I do like it in my T-zone. I have dry skin with sort of, in the summer, normal T-zone. So I use this around T-zone and another more hydrating mask around the periphery of my face, and I find this to be quite effective. So if you have Soap and Glory around you and if you see it on sale, I do recommend you pick up this one to try it out and see if you enjoy it. I have a single product for hair this month as well. This is Macademia Healing Oil Treatment. This one, I have to say, is not the first time I'm mentioning this guy, and I've really started using it when I started dyeing my hair lighter. This is not the treatment for well-nourished, healthy, natural hair. I don't think. This is going to be pretty heavy. This is hardcore treatment for damaged or dry hair, I would say. So if you have coarse hair, that would be good for you. I think it's a thick enough, nourishing enough oil to really provide you with good moisture. If you have dry hair or processed hair like mine, although my hair texture is quite fine, since it's so processed and more porous because of all the bleaching, it really takes to heavier treatments nowadays with masking and oils, and this is the oil of choice for me right now. It's quite thick. I apply a decent amount throughout the mid-lengths of my hair and down to the tips of my hair. And I do find that this is quite effective, and I've been using it since I've started lightening my hair. And my hairdresser even, my colorist, made a comment that, oh, well, with all that bleaching, your hair really isn't that bad. And I credit a lot of masking, infrequent shampooing that I'm doing, and using oils. Specifically, this is the only oil basically that I use right now. I will be trying other oils as well, and I have tried other oils, but this is the most effective, probably because it's so nourishing and thick. So if you have a hair texture that can support or requires a lot of nourishment, this macadamia oil is quite good, but it can be too thick if you have finer hair or hair that isn't very damaged. Let's move on to makeup. I have quite a few items here today. This one is, again, not a new product to me and not a new mention to me. Ingredients are quite clean here. There are a couple questionable ingredients that some people debate over. For me, my skin reacts very well to Bare Minerals Original Powder Foundation, and my color is Fair Ivory 02. I have to say that this is a fantastic powder foundation. If you want something pressed, then Guerlain powder foundation, Lingerie Dépôt, is quite good. This one, I think, is going to actually knock that one out of the park for me. Although it's a loose powder, which can be a little bit annoying, I don't really seem to have a big problem with it. I love applying this. It looks fantastic on my dry skin. I haven't tried the illuminating kind and I haven't tried the matte kind, but this one is an absolute thumbs up for me. If you have dry skin and you want a powder foundation, I would go with this one over any other powder foundation. I've tried quite a few. There's also a Physicians Formula pressed powder that is essentially a foundation. They call it like a translucent powder. Sometimes it has a color, don't fall for that. That is very, very good, and it's pressed, so I really recommend that one. I've used multiples of that, and I've used multiples of this. I think this is a fantastic powder foundation. I'll show you an application soon in a Get Ready With Me so that you can see how to best apply it, and you want to prep your skin as you normally would, I should hope. It looks really realistic on skin, which isn't often the case for powder foundation and dry skin. Easy to apply, easy to use, wears off super gracefully, and lasting power is really decent. So super recommend you try this, and I'll show it to you in an upcoming video. Then we have a not so clean product, but nevertheless a product that I've had in my collection for a little bit. And this is a powder blush from Dior. It's Diorblush in 766 Lady Red. It's on me today. I don't think it's red, first of all. It's not red. I have to say, if you have my coloring or something like my coloring, this is a fantastic multi-purpose all-season blush. And I don't even think you need to go and buy this particular color, the Lady Red color from Dior. You can just like look for a shade that is similar to this, and it's super, super flattering. I think it looks nice and creamy and beautiful on skin, really brings out great neutral tones in my skin that are very, very flattering. I think this is a great color for my coloring, and I do recommend you, if you have similar coloring to mine, pay attention to a color like that, not necessarily specifically this particular one. Their blushes are firmly pressed, they're not powdery, they're very nicely blendable, and this particular one is matte. Dior blushes are great. They're not super clean, so if that's important to you, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you are a lover of luxury beauty, I think Dior really knock it out of the park with their blush formulation. So this one I will continue using. It's really good. This time a very, very, very clean product. This is by Beauty, Multistick and Cashew. I've shown this to you before. I'll continue using it. I love the product. Their multi-sticks are a genius idea of having a stick product that is presented in a shade range, which you can use on eyes, on cheeks, on lips, wherever. Food grade ingredients, all very nice and clean. I've dented my stick already. The packaging is adorable and has a little magnetic click to it, which is super satisfying, as we all know. So if you are into clean beauty and can shell out a bit of money for bite, I highly recommend their lipsticks. I really like their multi-sticks. I have a glitter stick as well, which I'll show it to you at some point also in a Get Ready With Me, because I'm not quite ready to make the full review on it, but I've been dabbling with it. It's pretty fun. So the multi-sticks are great. I am looking forward to getting a pink shade sometime soon once I use up a couple of my other cream products, and I would focus more on Bite because their products are fantastic. And I have to say that these multi-sticks are a little bit of a stiffer cream. If you warm it up on your finger and blend with your finger, then it's going to blend out no problem. If you blend with a denser brush, it's going to be no problem. If you do a dual fiber or some kind of a flimsy brush, it might not work out super well because it is a stiffer cream. It does need working into the skin, but the staying power is quite decent. And the stiffer formula allows you to use it on eyes as well. So I think if it was creamier, it wouldn't be as multifunctional. However, if you don't enjoy very stiff products and you like really dewy products on your skin, if you're using creams, that might not be up your alley. but for me, it's a really, really easy product and one and done deal also for a monochromatic look. Another reasonably clean ingredient deck goes to this Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter, and mine is in the shade Pearl. And you can see that's in the shade Pearl. However, it's not white stripes down your face. It blends out into a beautiful pearly sheen. And this is a sort of cream to powder or powder to cream product, and it's very easy to apply. It layers well over anything. You can layer it over powder, you can layer it over liquids. It's such an easy, beautiful, beautiful texture, and it lays flawlessly on whatever you want to layer it on. Decent staying power today. Again, it's on me. The glow that you see, it's that. I have to say, if you are a fan of glowing to the guts kind of highlighting, this is not your jam. This is not going to work out for you. They do have several shades, so I do think they cater towards a variety of skin tones, and I do think you'll be able to find a shade that is going to work for you. For very fair skins, I think this is the only option, but for medium and darker tones, there are a couple of options that you can choose from. On the gold or rose sort of side of the spectrum, I say yay for this one. This is really great. However, if you love a huge strobe that is going to reflect off the stars, this is not going to work. This is a pretty natural look. You can see this is a very, very subtle highlight. It's beautiful, and the texture is very unique and very cool. And the ingredients are quite good. Has some moisturizing properties to it, so if you have dry skin, that's a big plus always. But again, if you love a huge strobe and if you want to be a pow sort of look with your highlighter, I would steer you away from this one. There are plenty of things you can do, especially if you invest in really great loose pigments. You can do a blinding highlight with those. This guy is really for those of you who love an effortless, easy look to your makeup, who like to have something like, if you want to toss it in your purse or travel with it, you can put it wherever on your face and it's still going to look nice, and something that blends into your skin very, very well. Like I said, I am not glowing to the gods. I have a dewy look to my skin, and this is kind of what I'm trying to achieve here, and this is what this product will give you. The eyeshadow palette that I've been reaching for this month is this Lorac Unzipped palette. Not the best ingredient deck, but eyeshadows are, from what I understand, are quite tricky to get green and get good quality. I am completely content using my eyeshadow palettes. Today this one is on me, and this is quite a great eyeshadow formula. It's a bit powdery, there's some kick up. I prefer slightly firmer pressed shadows. This cream color busted a little bit, so they're very soft shadows, but I really like the selection of colors. However, I've discovered that rose gold sort of tones are just not for me. Mid-tone rose gold, light rose gold, or darker rose gold I can really work with because I can create some contrast, but sort of light to mid-tone rose gold really kind of blends in with my skin. If I want to use it on my lids, it's not going to pop them. If I'm going to use it as a highlighter, which I often do with my shadows, it's not going to do well because it's going to be reflective, yes, but the rose gold is not going to give me any lift to the cheeks because, again, it's darker than my skin tone, slightly darker with my skin tone, but not dark enough that it can create some shape or depth on my eyes. So actually, I've noticed that although the quality is fantastic and I really enjoy this palette, there are a couple of shades that I'm not using for that very reason. So Undercover, the cream matte shade, I use a lot. Undiscovered is a gold, so that some people might enjoy it, but I don't really love gold shadows. Unbelievable, I don't really use very much because it's that mid-tone rose gold that I can't really say works very well for my skin tone. Unreal is a lighter rose gold, which I do like. Uncensored and unattainable, I use sometimes for like a one shadow look, a wash of color on the lid. Unconditional and unspoken are really fantastic crease shades. This is really what sold me on the palette. They're really good. Unconditional is cooler and unspoken is quite a neutral shade, and I have unspoken in my eye socket today. This makeup is about 10 hours old, so judge for yourself. They stayed pretty decently. And Unbridled and Untamed I either use for deepening of the outer V and creating more contrast around the socket of the eye, or I use them as liners if I'm doing a daytime look. And I enjoy both of these colors as liners. They smudge out really nicely, they stay very nicely. I have Untamed on my lash line today, and that's, as I said, had been about 10 or 12 hours perhaps of wear. Yeah, 12 hours of wear so far. So this is quite a nice little palette. There are only 2 shades that I'm absolutely not using. The rest of them are very, very usable, and I think this particular shade selection is quite user-friendly. I think it'll look great on you, whichever skin tone you happen to be. For fair, it works. For medium tones, I think for medium skin tones, that will be ideal for like a nude look eye. And then for darker skin tones, you're going to miss a black, I think, but you're going to have a selection of really nice poppy reflective shadows that you can do a one shadow look with and sort of pop your lids. And I think Untamed is dark enough to play with for daytime looks. So very versatile palette. I really like it. I'll continue using it for next month, I think, as well, because I've been enjoying it so much. Now you're gonna laugh, but another By Beauty favorite, as it goes with By Beauty in my channel, is a lip pencil that I've been really enjoying. It's in the color 034. And it is this darker nude for me, darker mauvier nude shade for my skin tone. I think on darker skin tones that would be a beautiful, beautiful nude liner. But on us fair girls, this is really great for a darker nude. Very nice and neutral. It's not warm, it's not cool. It's slightly on the cooler side of things, but it's not cool. And it's just a beautiful color, creamy. The formula is fantastic. I will definitely be looking more into By Beauty for their lip liners, and I'm not a huge lip liner wearer, but I do enjoy these so much, and they're so creamy that I can use them to fill in as a matte lipstick to fill in the lip completely. So total hit with me. I've been raving about them for a while. I've only tried this one color, and as you can see, I'm pretty much out of it. Next month I'm sure it's going to show up in my empties. But I love this thing, and I do recommend you check out By Beauty pencils. I think they're very worthwhile, and they are very clean. My last lip product is another lip product, and this is Clinique Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. You can see that the silver accents are starting to get worn off because this is a pocket toss kind of lipstick. It's not really lipstick, it's almost lipstick. It is a lip balm with a tint, basically is what it is. You can see how dark it is, and I've used this one up completely actually. It's very, very dark, but it applies semi-sheerly, so it applies as a wash of dark color on the lips. So it gives you a bit of an accent on the lips, but not quite a vampy look. Very easy to apply, slick, moisturizing, feels great on the lips. Such an easy pocket product. And this particular shade is Black Honey, but I do believe they have different shades if you're interested. This one from Clinique is a hit for me. I probably will not be repurchasing because I am thinking about maybe greener beauty. However, I have a lot of lipsticks that are not toxin free, that are from conventional luxury brands and mid-range brands such as Clinique, so I will continue using them up. I do recommend it, it's really great. If you're going towards greener beauty though, Clinique is not the cleanest you can get, just so that you know. But that's it for today. I hope it was fun for you to watch. These are my most used products this month. I was really reaching a lot for those. And let me know if you had like superstar most used products this month. I'm always curious to know. That's it for today. See you guys later. Bye bye.